You're listening to Winnipeg's Classic 107. My name is Simon Rusnak. The Women's Musical Club of Winnipeg has, for more than 125 years, provided a stage for talented young Manitoba artists and supported them through scholarships and performance opportunities. Over the coming weeks, we'll introduce you to some of this year's WMC scholarship winners ahead of the recital on December 29th. And this morning, I'm pleased to be joined by Elena Howard-Scott. Hello, Elena.
Hello.
Well, congrats on your success in the WMC scholarship competition.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I guess I should probably say, or your continued success, as you are also you're a repeat winner. You won back in 2019, the last time that the competition took place, and this year you were awarded the $2,000 Madeleine Gauvin scholarship. What does it mean to have the continued support of the WMC?
It's really great. They've been around like as long as I can remember. My brother was also in the competitions. He did them a few times and I've done them many times. And yeah, their continued support is amazing. They really make so many opportunities for young artists like myself, and this and the Doris McClellan competition. Like they just want to support us. It's really cool. I love it.
Yeah. And I mean, I think we as the audience, we're part of the benefactors of that too, right? Because we get to hear you perform, and like you say, that support from the WMC just really is so important to young artists. And so,
it really is. Yeah.
I want to go down memory lane here just a little bit, because I was doing some scrolling, a lot of scrolling on the Classic 107 website, and you were back in studio in 2018, and you were performing in the studio back when we could do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you just been awarded a co-winner of the Zita Bernstein competition at the U of M, where you just completed your undergraduate degree. I think you were performing ahead of a Rady JCC show. Does that sound about right?
Yes, that is right.
All right. So one of the things you mentioned in this interview was that you were thinking of you finished your undergraduate degree. You were thinking of maybe taking some time to explore some options ahead of pursuing some additional schooling, which is something you've just started now. Is that right?
Yes. So past me was completely correct in foreseeing the future. I ended up actually taking almost 3 years off, partially because of COVID. I didn't do auditions during COVID, but yeah, I worked for about a year pretty consistently in musical theater, and then had some time off. COVID occurred, and then now I've just started at the Glenn Gould School at the Royal Conservatory in Toronto.
Well, that's super exciting. How are you enjoying that so far?
It's been really good. Definitely an adjustment, not being in school for many years and working professionally and then going back into the school environment. But fortunately, the school is also more of a professional environment. We don't have a ton of classes. It's an artist diploma program, not a master's. So it's not, classwork oriented. It's more performance oriented, and a lot of practice time, and your time is your own. And then we put on shows and stuff. But it's been really great.
I mean, there are plenty of programs across Canada and beyond, right? And obviously there's a lot of factors that go into making such a big decision, but can you talk a little bit more about your choice in terms of the Glenn Gould School? Did it have a lot to do with the fact that it was an artist diploma? You were going to be performing a lot more rather than being in the classroom?
Yes, for sure. I know myself, and that I no longer have the energy to sit at a desk doing things I'm not interested in. We all do it, but for this point in my life, I was more just interested in singing and taking lessons and doing shows. And and so that was a big part of it. And they were just very supportive of my pursuing every kind of singing style, which I really appreciate. And it's a really nice environment. It's really little, which I really love. There's only 17 singers, I think, in total, the whole school. Yeah, my program's only 6, so that's really cool. I really like that part.
I want to unpack one of the things you just said a little bit more. You said every type of singing that you like to pursue. I was looking at your bio, and you're right. You've done every type of singing. You've done the opera thing with Opera Nuova in Edmonton, regional placements, first placements, I should say, in the Met Opera National Council auditions. And then you've also performed extensively in musical theater, as you mentioned a little bit earlier. I remember seeing you in Strike and Beauty and the Beast and Ring of Fire, and that's only at Rainbow Stage, let alone everything else that you've done. So often artists, especially young artists, are sort of forced to choose one, right? Like, are you doing the classical opera thing? Are you doing the musical theater thing? Yet you've been able to explore both. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
I have, yeah. Well, I see it as, no training is bad training. My classical training always helps my other kinds of singing. And I mean, musical theater has always had my heart in a really special way, but it's kind of like, and this is a general statement, but if musical theater has my heart, then classical music has my intellect. And it's really lovely to be able to explore both of those things. And they cross over a lot more than people realize, you know, really at the end of the day, it's storytelling. And, you know, I love to explore different kinds of storytelling. And so I never want to completely close the door on one of them for myself, you know?
Was there one that sort of came first? I know you come from a musical family. You mentioned your brother. Your dad has been on air a number of times. Your mom, of course, too. And so, was there one that came first? Was it the classical side? Was it the musical theater side? Like, what? How did this all come about?
Classical came first because I grew up going to the symphony and I played violin my entire life.
Yeah.
And my mom is a violin teacher, violin and viola teacher. My dad's a composer. My brother's a cellist, among many other things. So classical came first in that way. And then it was when I started to do my musicals at Kelvin High School that I really felt
Kelvin,
like,
shout out. You and I both.
Absolutely. So it was there that I was like, oh, this is fun. Like, this is amazing. So yeah, classical came first, but probably the true love they both, you know, came from that.
Yeah, I got to give that quick shout out to Miss Brown and Mr. Berdeniak over at Calvin, because
absolutely
they really do a great job.
Changed my life.
So Elena, just before I let you go, I mean, I guess the next big question is, we had kind of past Elena, you were talking kind of forecasting what you might be doing next, and you pretty much hit the nail on the head. What's next for you? I mean, obviously school and Toronto, but what's coming up?
Well, I still have another year and a half of my program. So I'll finish that up. And then I am not 100% sure. I can see myself auditioning for young artist programs, doing the opera thing for a while. Honestly, all I can say with certainty is that I am sure I will be performing.
That's a great way to be, and a really solid bet, I'm sure. And you will definitely be performing December 29th in the WMC Scholarship Winners Recital. It's going to be great. Elena, thanks for doing this.
Thank you so much for having me.
The Women's Musical Club of Winnipeg Scholarship Winners Recital takes place Wednesday, December 29th, 7:30 p.m. Tickets available for live or live stream attendance. You can visit wmcwpg.ca or classic107.com for details.